not sure. There she is. Great. Hi, Therese. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Good morning. Thanks for coming. Hi, Donna. Welcome to class, guys. Thanks for coming. New exciting time and new day.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It'll be a good way to start the day from 9:30 to 10:20, and then like the rest of your day, you're gonna feel like fantastic. I decided starting our day out this way, I'm like, oh, this would feel really good. A little different than the middle of the day. You guys will just need your mat. I had in the notes. I'll try to put notes. I'm gonna try to keep up with that comment section. So before class, once you're in, you can see what to grab if you have any of those things. We'll be on the ground for a majority of the time. So just check out the chat. If you guys have any questions, you can either private chat me or just answer back there is fine once we go on mute. I'm going to light myself so I'm a little bit bigger to you. Thanks for joining me at the new time. Great way to start the day. Good day to start the week too. Way to go being here on a Monday. I always think Monday mornings, I kind of had the choice of which days to kind of like look at in my own head. I was trying to decide, and about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I decided teaching on Monday mornings kind of started my week out. So good for you, because it's not always easy. It was the one I kind of was like, I don't know about that. And then decided to take it and decide, let's just do this. So for the last, I think it's been 5 years I've taught a Monday morning. So it's been a little bit not like that for a while, and it's kind of good to be back. So come to the mat, and when you're ready, make sure you have some water. If you don't have any or all of those supplies, you don't have to use all of them. Other than that, yeah, just a little bit of water, and we'll be here till 10:20 together. So let's do this. If you guys have any questions or feedback, I also am on Facebook under the NBC FitRec group fitness. So I did post, and kind of going to be doing a couple postings in there more often. So you'll see some stuff there too. So I might the night before kind of say what we're going to do, or other things to maybe bring, and or if you have any comments on like stuff you guys wanted to stretch or roll out, please just give me feedback, pass on the word, and let's have a great class together. Okay, let's do this. You should be able to see me pretty well. I can move around if you guys need to. So just come off mute if you can't see something, or if you need me to do something different. Don't be afraid to come off mute and talk to me. That's no big deal at all. We're gonna start on the ground. Please have a seat. We're gonna start by just in a cross-legged position. Just kind of open ourselves up to the day. Have those sit bones on the ground. Place your hands wherever you feel comfortable. You can have them on your hands, on your thighs. They can be down to the side, just sitting in your lap. not going to be so much yoga as it will have some yoga moves included. But remember, doing Lengthen to Strengthen today. So a lot about elongating the muscles, strengthening through the activity that allows our body to rest and recover. Just have a seat, just find stillness. For like 30 seconds, we're just going to sit here and kind of relax. So wherever that is for you, I want to concentrate, please, on shoulders back and down. Eye gaze is out. You don't even have to be looking at me. You just kind of look out into the distance. Start with some inhales and exhales. Let's try for 3 nice inhales in and exhales out through the mouth. So we're going to take a big inhale in through the nose. Take a second to think about lengthening through the back. So can you make sure your shoulders are away from your ears? Make sure there's some length through the arms. Maybe place them down on the ground by your sides. Push gently through the palms of the hands. Sitting up tall without avoiding that hyperextension in the back. So make sure your shoulders are away, hips are top. You're sitting up nice and tall. If you find yourself wanting to start to lean back, you might want to even place a yoga block underneath you. Otherwise, just have a seat. We're going to start with a little bit of circles. One way and the other way. We're going to try for 5. We're going to take circles with our nose. So we're going to draw like a plate. Let's do like a dinner plate in the sky. So I want you to take all those little muscles, working in the neck, maybe some feel things through your shoulders, maybe even through the back. Just making dinner plates with our nose, just draw them in the sky. And now we're gonna go the other way. You close your eyes, you open your eyes. I find sometimes I do it better if I close my eyes. I can see the plate being drawn in my head. A little lengthening of the neck. Let's take our neck one side. We're gonna take a look all the way over to one shoulder. Walk the arms out 1 more inch so our fingertips are kind of to the side. Then on the inhale, exhale through the center. Inhale in and exhale to the other side. Come back to the center, inhale in, center. All right, we're gonna take a look down. So allow ourselves, you don't wanna look back and let that neck fall backwards, but let's take it down. We might feel this through the back. Tuck the chin to chest, allow the shoulder to stay within the ears. So if you find yourself doing this, just naturally let yourself make sure you're pulled back and down. Lengthen through that spine. Lengthen chin to chest. Look a little lower, lower. And hold. Couple of deep breaths in, and then slowly rise the head back up. Wonderful. So we're going to take one more time. This time, can you take your hands out to the side for a second, please? Palms up. And then we're going to bring them slowly, lift them up above the head. So they're either right here, forward to the face, at the shoulder, or you can bring them a little bit closer together, wherever you feel comfortable. So it's either like holding a big beach ball up in the sky. Open up the fingertips, okay? Lengthen all the way. Make sure those fingertips are getting some movement. Make sure you have some activity going on here. Feet even a little bit. Make sure you're active in your feet and in your hands. or you can hold that basketball kind of right here in the middle, or a volleyball or a soccer ball. So you think about the size. So the size from here, more like a big, big, big beach ball blown up. For 3, 2, 1, and then slowly let the arms come back down. I'm gonna do one side to the other side. We're gonna look, and then to the other side. For 3 more. You can do this. Make sure you're not pulling at your hip flexors. One more time. Allow your hips to relax. And release. Wonderful. All right, so let's have the seat position. Right now, if you can come and take 1 foot in and 1 foot in front of the other and sit down, and you can also grab that yoga block, so either their feet are stacked one in front of the other instead of on top of each other, or you can come to like a lotus position, bring the heel towards the inside, grab this, and you can stack. And we're gonna try to get some hip activity going on. So we're gonna try to really lengthen through this hip muscle. This is a very tight and all this hip complex. So try to get this up if you can, where you land your foot on the like mid thigh, but you do not have to, okay? You can keep just what you were doing in the seated position. This time, I just wanna take our hands from here, please. We're gonna slowly reach up and come into that letter C. Think about imagining this letter C, so we're open here, so it's not falling on top of our head. We're open and open up to the sky. Okay, lengthen the spine by bracing the core, lifting the chest like a ballerina, and looking eye gaze towards the sky. So see how my fingers and hands are up here, right? They're not falling down. And then slowly bring this down, and you're gonna reach to the other side. Lifting the heart to the sky, maybe setting a little bit of intention, a little bit of a good way to start the day, awesome day to start the week, happy Monday. And then one side to the other side one more time. So all the way over, might go a little bit deeper this time, coming more down to like a forearm. You might feel a major stretch through this area if you're coming down towards your forearm. So if right here is fine and that's enough, please, please, please remember this is your day, your workout. And then to the other side. The major thing here is we don't want to collapse forward. If we do that, it's going to be intentionally. Otherwise, right now, we're just lifting up. Come to the center. Take this leg safely. Untangle yourself. Bring this leg in, and this one is going to go in front, or this one is going to stack, okay? You set it up on that thigh. Bring this foot out a little bit, and this okay. If you've been with me in class before, you know this is a harder side for me, it's tighter. So I have a lot more room between these two spaces here, trying to get it to be sitting on top of each other over flexibility and time. So the more I lengthen those muscles, okay, that is how that's gonna happen, through flexibility and through that agility, all the mobility in these moves, okay? So let's have a nice deep breath. Find your center, find your space, zip up through all the way to top, nice and tall. And we're gonna slowly take it over, straight up in the air, and then come to that letter C. It's kind of like a pretend C. And again, we naturally kind of wanna fall forward, lift yourself up, stand tall. Think, I'm as tall, strong, powerful. Every move. Inhale in, exhale, breathe, and slowly switch to the other side. Again, open that chest, heart to the sky. You might feel this in other parts of the body and just on the side body. That's okay. You're tight in different places. Deep, deep stretches. Foam rolling, working the fascia. Allowing that connective tissue to break up, right? Creating great oxygen. Flow through the body. Other side, helping us to lead to like non-injuries, rest, recovery. This is the stuff we need in our week. So if we're starting your week this way, awesome job. because it should be incorporated to most of your workouts a few times a week. All right, nice and relaxed. Let's take this leg up. Bring those feet forward. Arms all the way up, slight or massive knee bend, whatever feels best to you today. And you're gonna tip forward from the hip and reach forward. Grab hold of your here, shins, or the thighs, or keep those legs straight, but you can have a big, big knee bend. Tuck the chin to chest and roll forward. Now try to avoid the shoulders and ears becoming friends. Brace that core. Point the toes for a second for me. So we get a nice stretch, lengthening through all. Okay, think about your ankle, shins. You got the metatarsals, your phalanges, your toes. Okay, right? All those little teeny tiny bones coming through here. You can even feel if you need to. And then inhale in slowly all the way up. Flex those feet. One more time, you bring it all the way up to kind of like the letter L sitting down. And then we're gonna tip forward from the hip and come forward. And then come back up. All right. So in this position, I want us to come out. We're actually gonna bring ourselves out into like a very wide leg sitting, okay? And this is an option. What I want you to think about is taking your hands and pushing your thighs towards the back, okay? So if you find yourself kind of like curling in, that's okay. But what you wanna think about is finding your sit bones. And if that means you just can sit on your sit bones with your feet here, there is no competition, right? This is no big thing. It's your day. So that's fine. Another option is you press the thighs back, okay? So the knees rotate towards the sky and relax your feet, because mine are like this, okay? Kind of relax your feet. You can bring up like a little bit of knee bend, listen, and watch. Bring your thighs back and then kind of sit in the same position, okay? If that helps you to sit up tall, there's nothing wrong with this. A big knee bend will help you eventually get to that longer extension, okay? So lengthening to strengthen. So if this is the lengthening that you have and you're strengthening yourself in the core, yes, then this is awesome. And I think that's underrated. So you can point the toes or flex the toes, and we're gonna lean forward with either that big knee bend, but what I want you to concentrate is not rolling the knees in, but keeping the thighs and quads engaged and keeping this stuff up and out. So whether it's here and you've got your feet a little bit in, we're gonna lean forward. Tuck the chin to chest and just hold. It's not a real fancy move. It's pretty simple, okay? We used to do it a lot when you were a kid or in gym class. I don't know if you remember, but like as a kid, this is like a no big deal. You just got down and you like flew yourself to the ground, right? But now it's like, man, this is a pretty massive stretch. So for me now, I'm gonna bring my knees up and twist them, or like lift and press out, and now come a little bit forward for a little bit. So I actually feel a little bit more with my knees bent right now. So that might be helpful. Try a different option for a little bit. 5, 15 seconds, somewhere in there. We're staying here for about a minute and a half. And the best part about options, okay, one of the things I try to really, really coach and train in my class here and instruct you is then go back to the different option. Nobody says you have to stay in one. Don't forget to breathe. Then another 15 seconds. So stay wherever you are or pick that option of modification. Your best effort yet. And slowly, slowly, slowly roll up to the top. All right, so I'm gonna come a little bit closer. I'm gonna bring one leg in. I'm gonna have this foot out, okay? Now, It's the same kind of movement, and we're gonna reach towards it, or you can have a big knee bend. The difference is we're gonna try to point that toe, reach towards this foot, okay? Remember, this thigh is pressing back, so squeeze and like think about pressing it back and down. And this arm is gonna come over, and this time we are gonna kind of collapse a little bit, not on our head like all the way, but instead of having it way up, we are gonna try to come down a little bit closer. Watch my nose. Come nose towards my knee. And just hold. So also remember, if this is where you are today, there is nothing wrong with this move. Slowly, 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 you'll get out one leg. And eventually you might bring your nose all the way down to your knee. Hold for 10 more seconds, please. 8, 4, 3, 2, and slowly, slowly, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come to center and shake it out. Bring this leg in. We're gonna switch to the other side. So you're gonna bring your heel all the way in. Leg is out, pointed. Again, we're gonna reach towards, yes, but again, this arm this time comes up, but does kind of come over. So you're facing your nose towards your knee and you're reaching forward. If you want this arm not to even be involved, the other option is to keep it on the ground or reach with it, but you could bring it over and then just make sure that nose is. And also again, create that massive knee bend. This is where you are today. Please, please, please find what works best for you. Beautiful part about lengthening and strengthening is you can see it working. Within the next few weeks, doing this with me once a week and doing this on your own, 20 minutes, maybe a day, stretching, recovery, you're gonna get more flexible. And that helps you in all the rest of the things you do all through the week. All right, slowly roll yourself up. And release. Okay, let's shake out the legs for a second. So bring your feet in and let's just do side to side like windshield wipers with our legs. We're gonna go one side, then try to bring them to the other side. And then one side, knees roll over like a rainbow. So think about drawing a rainbow with your knees in the sky. Fantastic. All right. Now, I'm going to show this from the side so you guys can sit back or come on forward to the camera. But what we're going to do is we're going to have our foot out and we're going to make like the number 4. We're going to take and set this on our thigh, okay? So it's one leg is out and we're looking down and there's like a number 4 in our legs. This foot is right on the mid-thigh. If you can place your hands behind you, either facing forward on the mat or out, but I find it easier this way. But I want you to think about the lifting your chest when you're sitting down, nice tall back, strong through the core. And slowly you can bring this leg up and bring your bottom forward, okay? For more of a hip stretch. But watch, you don't want to do this. You don't want to collapse like this. You need to press through the palms, sit up nice and tall, lift the chest. Hip bones, yes, are facing straight in front of you. Sit bones are both on the ground. Squeezing the shoulder blades in the back, bracing the core and looking forward. For 10, 9, come on, you've got this. It's a massive, massive stretch. And slowly let this leg come down, lift the leg off, and then we're gonna switch. So we bring the other leg up into the number 4. When we look down, setting itself on the thigh, this leg is out in front. Place the hands down, safely bring this foot up, and if you want, you can bring yourself to the mat. With the foot, lift your bottom closer, and the closer you get, and the more you lift your chest, feel that? So if you're back here a little bit, and then lift your chest, it still is an awesome stretch. But if you bring your bottom a little closer and closer, that is gonna get harder, okay? But not hard like in a bad way. You're just gonna feel a more intense stretch. Please avoid this. Please, please, please do not fall back. Brace your core, press through the palms of your hands, right, clawing through the fingertips, your first finger and thumb especially, so you don't put all that pressure on the wrist. So much to think about it, you don't even notice you're in this move. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly let the leg lower. Lift this leg off and release. Grab a little sip of water. We are going to come into a 90-90 stretch on the floor. So you're going to want your leg at 90 degrees in the front, facing me. This leg is back here, 90 degrees. Ankle, knee are in a line. Hips are both facing forward. So you can stay here, bring it up to like goalpost arms, and we are going to tip forward. Hands will go on both sides. You're going to slowly lower yourself down towards the ground. Eye gaze towards the mat. Try not to look up at me. Trust my voice. That way you're not doing anything funny to the spine or neck. The eye gaze is towards the floor. Long, nice, long. Flat back. You can also walk those hands in front. And the second variation, if you wanted a little bit more, would be like the swan, okay? So you can stay here in the 90-90 stretch, or you can bring this leg in a little bit and take this leg back, tuck the toe under, and you're in the same kind of concept, same stretching though. So if this is not comfortable for you, then you do not need to go here, but I just want to show both options. So you can slowly, slowly, slowly lower yourself towards the ground, same way. You're stretching out the same areas. Feel this through the hip, some glute. You can stack your hands on top of the other, find a pillow, or you can rest them flat on the ground. We're going to stay here for a good, nice 30, 35 seconds, okay? So I'm going to take a deep breath in and then silence. And 5. And slowly walk yourself up a little bit. Bring yourself out of this move. Bring the leg up from the back, knee forward, feet forward. Shake it out for a little bit, bend the knees, and relax the legs. We're gonna go into the other side. Bring yourself into the 90 degree here. Take this leg back. Same thing goes for the leg in the back. Make sure those hips are squared towards me. We have the arms where we know we want to go on both sides, one outside this foot and one outside this knee, and tip forward, engaging and keeping activity through both feet, okay? So you feel the little toes activate. So make sure you have activity in both feet. And slowly lower yourself to the ground. Remind yourself to breathe through each move, please. And again, we don't want to kind of collapse into it. You want to brace that core. Make sure you have an active core. Brace right through that navel area. Do a little bit of adjustment if you need to. Bring your forearms to the ground. Head towards the ground. Make sure the eye gaze is towards the mat and to the floor, not towards me and the camera. The other option on this side would be to bring this knee in a little bit, foot towards you. Knee comes out more towards the center. Take that leg straight back, tuck the toe in the back. You're gonna be more in the swan position. Okay, you can sit yourself, brace, shifting yourself. So you feel a nice massive stretch through the hip. Hip flexor might feel a little bit on the other side. And you're slowly lower yourself to the ground, either stacking your hands on top of each other, and or you can create that pillow with the palms facing the ground, stacked on top of each other. And for the next 40 seconds, we just take silence and stay in this mood with breath. And 5. Slowly, slowly bring yourself up to the top. Bring this leg around wherever it is, towards the front. This time, when you come toward the front, do me a favor. We're gonna go back into this stretch on the other side after we're done. Take this leg and cross it over if you can. Try to get it flat on the other side of the knee. So the knee is facing me. Knee is up. You can sit yourself back a little bit if you need to. You don't have to do this move all the way. It doesn't have to, it can just be sitting here. It doesn't have to be flat on the ground, but if you can get it flat on the ground facing forward. We're gonna slowly allow ourselves the ability to turn, brace the core to the other side. If you can grab a hold of this knee, lift it, press this hand back and tip nice and tall. Go from tipping back to tip right to the tall position. A little bit, half an inch, slight inch. Lift. Open the chest, open the shoulders. And slowly release to the front. So now let's take this leg in front, bring the other knee up, bring this knee now back in towards the front. We're gonna cross this leg over. Awesome. So either flat foot or it can be just on the side. Try to keep it by the knee towards the front. And we're gonna slowly grab hold, lift. For 3 more seconds, 2, and slowly unravel yourself. Wonderful. All right, if you have close to you your yoga strap and your foam roller, grab those for a second. Have that seat back down if you can. If you would prefer to do the standing, you can always stand up. If you're sick of sitting, you can stand up, no big deal. Please take this, hold on both sides. We're gonna have it towards the ground, shoulders are back and down, and we're gonna slowly lift it up into the letter Y, okay? And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take it forward, and then we're gonna lift it, and then we're gonna take it forward. And now, the wider your grip is, so I went kind of, you could be a little bit closer, but I went wider on my grip, so more not even like a Y, I'm just kind of like a very, very wide grip, if you think about it. It's almost like my head is the middle of a W. And we're gonna slowly start to reach it a little bit back if you can, if you have that in your rotation and you have that flexibility. Lengthen through the chest, open the chest, hold, breathe. But I want you to be very cautious. I'm not with you in your living room or wherever you are, so I can't exactly see what you're doing, right? So what I need you to do is pay attention. Don't press any further. Take it to your comfort level. We're not going all the way back right now. We're just kind of trying to come to getting a nice and steady flow and lengthening. Watch, I want you to think about this too. Lengthen in the arms. So don't like pull so hard, But think like, how long can my arms go? How long can my back and spine rise tall? Think about this. How strong can you hold your core to strengthen the core while doing a simple arm move? Okay, lengthen to strengthen. So you're making this massive stretch with that core as tight as it can, strengthening and lengthening at the same time. Squeeze through the obliques, the side of the body. A little bit further back if you have that in your practice, but do not do that if it feels anywhere near uncomfortable or sharp knife-like pain. Come forward. 10 times. We're going to do this more. 10, 9. Activity. Make sure they're still alive, still awake. Not all the way back, guys. Stay with me. 4, 3. Wonderful. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. 2, 1. Slowly bring it forward. Bring the arms together. Take it here and release. Shake out the arms. All right, let's make some length through the side body, reaching and pulling. I want you to think about apple picking. We're just doing it from a sitting position. So you're like apple or cherry picking. So you want to get as tall as you can, sitting up tall. So think, I just raised myself almost an inch by just pressing through my sit bones, sitting up nice and tall, bracing the core, zip up through the body, all the way top, like a puppet string, right through the head. And now reach. And now reach out. Sometimes we'll be standing, and sometimes we'll be sitting. Out, out. One more time to the top for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Wonderful. All right, let's take those legs out. If you have your foam roller, wonderful. If not, you can always just use your fingertips or your thumbs to just do the calves. We're gonna do the calves here for a second. Do me a favor. If you have a foam roller, then let yourself just kind of let your legs sit on it. Gravity takes over, so make sure your legs are kind of just falling down. Don't have them up and clenched in the sky. So kind of relax them. And all you can do if you want is do back and forth, moving the foam roller, allowing your feet to kind of fall down towards the ground, heels towards the ground. This is perfectly awesome. Digging in, you can go side to side with your legs. You can kind of dig them in like a letter U. Or you can also, for a level 2, you can stack on top and then do the movement. So forward and back for 4, nice and easy. I want to flex my foot because it's tight, okay? And then we go side to side for 4, like a rainbow. So we're east to west. Allowing yourself to melt into that foam roller. Little wincing and weird eye twitches for me because it kind of is like bothersome, but it's a good thing. And then a little bit of like a letter U. So we really work if you have a spot, like I have a spot right there, it's like a ball. Take a deep breath and let my foot relax and let my calf kind of melt into this foam roller. Let it do its work, just let it hold and breathe. Otherwise, you can go back in or stay to the other leg. Wonderful. And switch. Again, you roll forward and back. You know, always bring yourself off the ground if you want, even for level 3, which is going to be another intense level. But if this is where you are today, just roll forward and back for 4. When you're ready, we're going to go side to side. Breaking up that fascia, all that connective tissue that gets tight and creates a space where we can always lead to injury. So we want to make sure this stuff is little knots that I have, right? I can feel them. I don't know if you have them. You can feel them with your fingertips too. You can feel them with the palm and use your hands and fingertips and fingers, palm of your hand, the kind of like digging and kneading motion. You can feel that without a foam roller. The foam roller is just a nice little tool that helps to break it down. You can see I'm breathing and doing this because that's how much that spot, this helps to break up that fascia. That's what we want to do. It gets like really, really tight. All those fibers like frame together and they're like this. And then I kind of like let it relax. Spend about 90 seconds maybe on each muscle group. We talked about that before, or if you've been in a class with me with foam rolling, you don't want to be too long on each, but you do want to try to do this about 10 minutes a day, okay? So right now I'm just kind of moving my legs forward and back, all the way up the calf and all the way maybe towards the Achilles tendon. That area can get really tight. So that's another area. If you only want to specifically do that area, you stay low with the foam roller, let it fall right here, and then you can just yourself up if you want and go side to side just with that area, or leave yourself on the ground. I know for me, the inside of that part of my area of my body tends to get even worse, the inside angle. You'll like where you feel spots that are like consistently the same. Maybe you walk or put pressure on them, the way you stand, your gait, the way you hold your weight in your shoes. This is like an amazing tool. So if you have one, awesome. If you don't, I suggest highly on getting one, buying them in the local, any kind of like local, like the retail stores have them, buy them online. I don't want to name one or the other that's better. I've used many kinds, but I will tell you that a foam roll I think is a very awesome tool. All right, let's take, and we're going to do some standing here in a second. So please come to a standing position. Make sure you guys can see me through. So you guys stand up slowly, get yourself to that point. I'm going to just make sure. We have about 10 minutes left. We're going to come to a standing position. We're going to be towards like the back of your mat. Your feet are under your hips. Think about your knees, your ankles, toes separated on the ground. Just trying to do a nice standing mountain pose for a second. Slowly reaching your tippy toes up, coming off your heels and bringing yourself onto your toes. And then slowly lowering yourself up and then rolling up and back and forth. So lengthen the foot if you want to do one at a time. If you feel off balance. And then eventually we're going to end up holding up with our pinkies for, get all the way up off those heels, pinky toe is in the ground, big toe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, open the sky. You got it, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, I almost did 4. Okay, let yourself go. Come towards the center of the mat, feet together. As long as you can see me, heels together. All the points of the pinky, big toe, heels, both sides on the ground. Zip up through the top. And we're going to slowly tip forward for a forward fold. Slight knee bend, bring yourself forward towards the ground. Let yourself hang down like a rag doll. Nice stretch to the hamstrings. Just allow yourself to hang out here. If you want, you clasp the elbows, tuck the chin to chest. We're going to take an inhale in for a half a lift, like the number 7, so a long flat back. Try this time to bring your hands towards your thighs, please, and or airplane arms. So your arms are taking back towards the back, palms are up. Long flat back, eye gaze towards the mat. And now exhale down, forward fold. Slowly bend the knees just a little bit, roll up all the way, one vertebrae at a time, slow, slow, slow. All the way, lift the hands all the way to the sky. You're gonna bring yourself right into the center, palms together. Interlock the fingertips. You can leave that first finger up, and we're gonna slowly do a little light back bend. Bring your eye gaze towards the sky. If you can, separate your feet for right under the hips, still facing forward. Nice little like micro bend in the knee. Brace that core. Bring your eye gaze towards me. Take hold of the arms. You're gonna grab hold of one wrist just very lightly, and we're gonna slowly bring it to one side. Now watch. The elbow will want to come forward. Please open the heart to the sky. And don't pull on the wrist, just kind of gently have it hang there. Just hanging out with this one. And then slowly bring it to the other side. Grab a hold of this wrist. Open your heart to the sky. And inhale and exhale. Bring it up to center. Reach your hands to the sky. Grab hold one more time, one side. And then lift up. Grab hold on the other side. We're going to take our feet apart. I want to think about tipping with more of a wide. So if you want to take those toes out to more like 10 and 1, slowly tip forward from the hip. Slowly, 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 slowly. Bring your fingertips towards the ground to touch into chest. And now I want you to reach to one side and then slip the fingertips side to side. Slight bend in the knee is fine. Please have a little bit of a micro bend. Shoulders away from the ears, and we just rest in this position back and forth. If this makes you feel dizzy, we're not comfortable with that, then you can always come and just do the same move standing. Just let the hands be nice and gentle and fluid. Come to the ground for 5, 3, and slowly make your way back to the top. Ah, wonderful. Bring the legs in. Bring one foot up. Okay, toes are still at the same spot. Brace that core and slowly lower that foot. Bring the other feet up. Press through this foot. There you go. And I'm going to turn sideways on purpose. So your toes are still together facing forward. I want you to take this leg back, tuck the toes under. Now, you're not letting your toes like smash down in. Just lightly, just let them rest. The further you take this back and the more you bend the knee, but truly just to start, it's just to kind of stretch the top of the foot. And then slowly bring it under. You don't need to spend more than about 5 seconds, 10 seconds is the most. Tuck the toes under and allow yourself a little slight knee bend without collapsing into your toes. So lift through the core, brace, and try to avoid tipping over like a clock. And slowly release. Wonderful. All right, let's come back down to the mat slowly. If you can, meet me in child's pose. So we're going to take our knees wide as the mat. Big toes are together, shifting your weight towards the back, reaching forward, okay? And you're gonna slowly lower yourself to the ground. I'm gonna back a little bit so you can see me, my whole body. We're gonna let ourselves come all the way to the ground. It could be an active stretch right now. You can have activity still through the fingertips. Walk on one side. Think about lengthening that spine as you walk your side. Walk yourself back to center. Shift your weight up towards the hands, walk them back, knees in towards like a tabletop position. Bring the feet to one side and we're gonna slowly sit back. Allowing the legs to just comfortably sit in a cobbler's pose, feet together. Please grab at the heels if you can, sitting up nice. We'll finish in this pose. Set an intention, find your day, find your peace, a place. I would say lengthening and strengthening too. Think about lengthening and strengthening your mind. A little bit outside the box, right? Creating boundaries for yourself for the day. Strengthening the spirit through decisions like amazing self-care. Hold here. If you want, while you're here, you can give yourself a little bit of a massage. You're not lengthening those hips. Those hip flexors muscles are really getting a nice deep stretch here as you're bringing your thighs and knees towards the ground intentionally. It's hard to sit still. Feel from the tips of your toes all the way through the legs, all the way up through the core, all the way up through the neck and spine and head, all the way to the top of the head. Slowly open your eyes if they're closed, or just have a quick second to look forward. Smile at yourself if you can see yourself. If you can't, that's okay too. And smiles inside your spirit, wherever you want to. And you don't have to smile if you don't feel like smiling anyways, right? It's your day. And slowly bring ourselves into a seated position. Cross those legs. Bring the arms out to the side. Lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Reach one more time, all the way as tall as you can. Inhale in. Bring those shoulders and ears together like they're buddies and best friends. And slowly release and open. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining at this new time at 9:30 to 10:20. Come next Monday, we'll be here. Like I said, on Facebook, or private message me there, or in here. Always never be afraid to send a little chat. We will be doing a lot of foam rolling, so if you get a chance to get a hold of a foam roller, awesome. Otherwise, give me feedback, questions, let me know. Thanks again for so much for joining. Spread the word for a new time. For those that might not know, and some of the ones that are classes on Monday and Wednesday, if you don't mind spreading the word, it would be awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.